They are ready to get this game underway, and the first pitch is in there for a strike, and that goes to Noah Brown. Pitching today for the Fort Morgan Mustangs, as in there for strike two is Trevor Shurtleff. With no balls and two strikes here to start off the game. And that's in there, strike three looking. So one out here in the top of the first, as that will bring up Travis Cunningham, left fielder for the Eaton Reds. Next pitch also a strike, 4 straight strikes from Trevor Shurtleff. Next pitch also in there for a strike. So Shurtleff is on right now. And he doesn't waste time between pitches. He's ready to set, and that's just outside ball one. Looks in for the sign, and that's going to be up and away. The opening pitch was brought to you by Ingmar Phillips Insurance. And we will see what he does here with this next pitch, and that is going to be hit out into center field. That will go clear to the fence. Hamer picks it up, and Cunningham will get into second base. A stand-up double for Cunningham. That brings up Jake Sandow, center fielder for the Eaton Reds. So we have one down and one on for Eaton. Eaton came in ranked number 6 in the preseason polls in 3A. And that gets away from McBride behind the plate, but not far enough for Cunningham to advance to third. Shurtleff looks back, now delivers, and that is going to be inside, but does catch part of the plate. So we're at 1 ball and 1 strike, 1 out here in the top of the first inning. Yeah, Shurtleff delivers, and that hits the batter. So put 2 on. So 2 on here with 1 out, and that brings up Ryder Rich, center fielder for Eaton. And that pitch is going to be fouled down the right field line, out of play. So Rich, so far batting on the year, this is only their second game so far, and he's at .333. Eaton comes in with a 1-0 record, beat Weld Central on Tuesday. That pitch is just outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Adrian Marquez at first base. And that pitch is in for a strike, catches part of the plate. J.P. Hamer in center field, Trevor Shurtleff pitching, Trey McBride behind the plate. Nate Cage at third, Joey Holbeck at second, Adrian Marquez at first. And that pitch, I'm not sure where that may be outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Adrian Marquez at first, Isaac Linker at short, Jimmy Killer in left, Bobby Tolson in right field for the Mustangs. And that off-speed pitch is in the dirt. Nice stop by McBride. So 3-2, 1 out, 1 on. Here in the top of the first at Eddie Underwood Field in Fort Morgan. Beautiful afternoon for baseball. And that pitch is going to be swing and a miss. Strike 3. Went for that high fastball and did not connect. So up next is Killian Williams right-handed batter, and that is also a high pitch, but also swung at and missed. They get it up there at eye level. Looks like a basketball coming in there and think they can hit it. He's blowing it right by him. That's a slow curveball in there. Beautiful pitch for a strike. So no balls and 2 strikes for Shirtliff. He gets ahead of the hitter as he has 2 on, but we have 2 out. And that was in there. Strike 3 looking. So after the top of the first, no score. Coming up will be the Mustangs in the bottom of 1 on B106 and B106.com. Brian Nickelback here at Eddie Underwood Field. Give you the lineup for the Mustangs. That is presented by Cargill. They're committed to feeding the world in a responsible way by reducing environmental impact and continuously improving product processes. Learn about Cargill's story of commitment at www.cargill.com. And the lineup today for your Fort Morgan Mustangs leading off is J.P. Hamer in center field, Trevor Shirtliff pitching, followed up by Trey McBride, who will be behind the plate today, Nate Cage at first, Joey Holbeck at second, Nate Cage at third, Joey Holbeck at second, Adrian Marquez at first, Isaac Linker at short, Jimmy Keller in left, and Bobby Tolson in right field. So J.P. Hamer comes up here. The Mustangs come into this game 2-0. Beat Frederick on Saturday 3-1. That ball is fouled at the plate. No balls and 1 strike. Shirtliff did throw 20 pitches in that first inning. 7 balls, 13 strikes. That pitch is going to be outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Hamer is in his second game here, third game, and that ball is going to be foul down the left field line. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. The opening pitch of the bottom of the first is brought to you by Ingmeyer Phillips Insurance. Looking to find insurance for your car, home, or even for you? Call Ingmeyer Phillips Insurance with 2 locations in Brush and Fort Morgan. They can help you with your home, car, health, or life insurance questions or provide a quote. Ball gets away from the catcher, but they will throw him out at first. So 1 down. And that will bring up Trevor Shirtliff, pitching today for the Mustangs. The pitch is low for ball 1. So we'll see what the Mustangs can do today against a quality 3A team. That pitch is going to be outside, ball 2. Eaton came in ranked number 6 in the state in the preseason polls. And that pitch is going to be hit over the pitcher and to the shortstop and dug out at first. So Shirtliff goes down, 2 outs here in the inning.
You too. We still on? Yeah. Okay. All right. Where are we going? I don't know.
That will bring Trey McBride. McBride batting at .429 after 2 games. And that first pitch is for a strike. So 2 out here in the bottom of the first. McBride at the plate. And that pitch is going to be fouled down to Coach Langford at third base. So no balls and 2 strikes, 2 out. Nobody on here in the bottom of the first. And that is going to be hit to the second baseman as he gloves it. Throw to first, and McBride is out. So after one, we have no score. We'll go to the top of the two on B106 and B106.com. Back here at Legion Field in Fort Morgan as the Mustangs have taken the field here in the top of inning number 2. As I said before, Eaton came in. They beat Weld Central 11-4 on Tuesday for their only game so far of the year. Fort Morgan's next game will be Monday here at home against Meade. That'll be a 4 o'clock first pitch. And up for the Eaton Reds here in the top of 2 is Jared Uri, first baseman. He's batting at 500, and that first pitch is in there for a strike. So Shurtleff with twice as many strikes as balls, 14-7, and that slow curve is hit down foul the first base line. So Shurtleff ahead here, no balls and 2 strikes to Jared Uri. That pitch is going to be outside. Ball 1. Kicking the pitch, and that is going to be fouled off to the right as well. But Trevor Shurtleff does not take a lot of time between pitches. Next pitch is going to be hit solid right to the shortstop. Nice job out there by Isaac Winker. Yes, he snags that line drive. So one down here in the top of 2 as C.J. Blaskowski is at bat, and we'll see if they get it. And the foul ball is caught by Marquez. So out number 2 here in the top of the second. So nice job there by Adrian Marquez to snag that pop foul ball. So now 2 outs here in the top of the second. Micah Dorsey swing and a miss on that first pitch. Shurtleff with the delivery, and that is going to be high, but strike 2. And that one is just outside, ball 1. Shurtleff with the sign and the delivery. And that is going to be strike 3 for out number 3 here in the top of the second inning. We'll go to the bottom of 2 on B106 and B106.com. So coming up here for Nate Cage for the Mustangs. Here in the bottom of 2. And that pitch is going to get by the pitcher or by the catcher into the backstop for ball 1. Northeastern in your world, learn in ours. For more information about Northeastern or classes available to you, go to www.njc.edu. And that pitch is fouled back to the screen. So 1 ball and 1 strike as Micah Dorsey on the mound for the Eaton Reds. 12 pitches so far here in the contest. That pitch is going to be outside, ball 2. He threw 10 pitches in that first inning. Shurtleff threw 20, but Shurtleff only with 9 in the bottom of the top of the second inning. That pitch is in there for a strike. 2 balls, 2 strikes. No out here, no score. In the bottom of 2 here at Legion Field, and that pitch is going to be up the middle for a base hit for Nate Cage. So now we have 1 on, no out, as Joe Holbeck comes up for the Mustangs. He's batting at .429 after 2 games for the Mustangs. So Cage with a small lead off of first. And that pitch is going to be low, ball 1. So Dorsey keeping an eye on Cage. I don't think Cage is going anywhere for a little bit. Next pitch is going to be outside, ball 2. So maybe a base runner is working on Dorsey a little bit. As Holbeck stands in there at the plate, and that is going to be low, ball 3. Josh Langford giving the signs down there at third base. Holbeck back in from the right side. Dorsey gets that next pitch in there as Holbeck takes all the way. So 3 balls, 1 strike, no out. 1 on in Nate Cage at first. And the delivery, and that is going to be high, ball 4. So now 2 on for the Mustangs as Adrian Marquez comes to the plate. Marquez, I believe, is the only one with a home run so far for the Mustangs, and that came in the Frederick game on Saturday. So we'll see if he can get another one he likes to connect with and drive it. Have a slight wind out of the west. I'm not sure that'll be enough to affect the ball going out that way. But we have a bunt, and he is a foul ball as he connected with the bunt attempt while he was in the box. So no balls and 1 strike to Adrian Marquez. He's also batting .429 in 2 games. Dorsey looks in to Rich for the sign, and that is going to be also a bunt down the third base line, but that's also going to be foul. So not able to advance the runners via the bunt. We will see if they keep that on or if they're going to let him swing away. As Marquez back into the box, waiting for the pitch from Dorsey, and that pitch is going to be fouled and out of play down the right field line. So they've taken the bunt off and let him swing away. As Coach Langford gives his signs down there at third base, Marquez will step back into the right side of the batter's plate. And Dorsey with the delivery, and that is going to be hit out to the shortstop as he gets it, goes to second for 1, and on to first for the double play, but Nate Cage is safely at third. So that brings up Isaac Linker.
Go, Isaac.
That ball's back to the pitcher, and that will be the end of bottom of 2 as Isaac Linker will ground out to the pitcher. So after 2, no score here on B106 and B106.com. Top of 3 here at Legion Field with the Eaton Reds and Fort Morgan Mustangs. Bring up Walker Yamura, the 9th man in the batting order, and then Noah Brown and Travis Cunningham. Left-handed batter here in Walker Yamura, second baseman. Shirtliff with the pitch, and that is going to be high and away, ball one. So no score here yet in the game as we play in the third, and that ball is going to get through into right field as that just gets out of the reach of the second baseman, Joy Holbeck. So that will bring up Noah Brown with one on. Brown was 0 for 1 on his first trip to the plate. Striking out, throw over to first, and back safely is Yamura. Another quick pitch over, safely in once again as Adrian Marquez applies the tag, but Yamura in safely. Pitch is going to be hit to Marquez as he fumbles it, and I don't believe anybody is out. Marquez with the error. So now 2 on. And no outs here in the bottom of the first. That ball is hit to Marquez on the line drive, and now all of a sudden we have 2 outs here in the top of 3. That line drive right to Marquez. That's in there for a strike. So Yamura still on at second and fouled back is Jake Sandow. He was hit by the pitch actually in his first appearance. So we have 2 outs and 2 strikes on Sandow as they throw back to second, but in safely is Yamura. Shirtliff looks into McBride for his sign and the delivery, and that is going to be in there. Strike 3. So just like that, Eaton Reds are done in the top of the third inning. We'll go to the bottom of 3 on B106 and B106.com. Brian Nickel here at Eddie Underwood Field in Fort Morgan. The bottom of the lineup coming up here. And then back to the top, Jimmy Keller, Bobby Tolson, and J.P. Hamer for the Mustangs. Jimmy Keller batting at 167 after two games. Micah Dorsey still on the hill for the Reds. That ball is hit into center field, and that will be caught by the center fielder. So 1 pitch, 1 out. For the Eaton Reds, as that will bring up Bobby Tolson, right fielder for the Mustangs. Stands in from the right side, and that is going to be hit out to the shortstop. Long throw across, and that is going to be in there. Nice dig over there by the first baseman. But out at first is Bobby Tolson. So now 2 quick outs here. For the Eaton Reds, 26 pitches and now 28, only 2 pitches. That's a ball there on J.P. Hamer. Dorsey with the windup, and the pitch is up high, ball 2. Dorsey looks in now, the windup, and that is in there for the strike. 2 balls, 1 strike on J.P. Hamer. As a freight train rumbles by here in Fort Morgan. That is going to be in there also for a strike. 2 balls, 2 strikes. No score here in the bottom of 3. You have 2 outs. As Hamer stands in there, and that is a hard hit ball over the head of the shortstop. Center fielder cuts it off. So Hamer will stay at first. Nice hard hit by JP. As that one, that'll bring up Trevor Shirtliff. Grounded out his first time up. Getting the sign from Coach Langford. In the hole is Trey McBride. Now throw over to first. Hamer back in safely. So 2 outs here in the bottom of 3. 1 on. And big swing and a miss as they're going to throw down to first. And Hamer steps back in there safely. Hamer had let off a little bit, and the catcher hesitated a little bit and then finally threw down there. Now they're going to throw over once again. Hamer back in there again safely at first. Dorsey looks home, and they're going to take off, and that will be a stolen base for Hamer. Nice job by JP. As that was a high ball. 1 ball, 1 strike to Trevor Shirtliff. So runner in scoring position for Shirtliff. And the wind, and that is a swing and a miss, strike 2. The ball's dipping away from Shirtliff as he attempted to put bat on ball. And the pitch, and that is going to be hit. That will fall for a base hit, and that will bring in J.P. Hamer. And now the throw gets by, and Shirtliff is going to go down to second base on the overthrow. So Shirtliff with the single. And now Shirtliff stands out at second. So 1-0 now, Fort Morgan, as we play in the bottom of the 3rd. And now Shirtliff takes off, and he will get into third base safely as the ball, the pitch gets away from the catcher. So McBride up to the plate with a 1-ball count. 2-ball count now on McBride. So he's got one sitting out there for him at third base in J.P. Hamer, or excuse me, Shirtliff. And that is high and away, ball 3. So the Mustangs on the board first here at Legion Field, up 1-0 in the bottom of the 3rd. And that pitch is going to be in there for a strike. So 3 balls, 1 strike, as McBride was taken all the way. Dorsey looks in for the sign, now the kick and the delivery, and that is going to be a swing and a miss by McBride. So if we can just get a little single in here and get Shirtliff in from third. And that pitch is up and in, ball 4. So now 2 on with Nate Cage up at the plate. He had a single his first time up. So we'll see what the Langford does here with his runners on base. The Mustangs up 1-0 here in the bottom of the third with 2 out. That pitch is up and over the head of Nate Cage, but a nice stop by Ryder Rich, the catcher. Cage in there from the right side, ready to get him an RBI here with Shirtliff. And that's going to be a swing and a miss by Nate Cage. So 1 ball and 1 strike.
Go, Nate. Have fun up there. Relax, kid.
Comes to the set and the delivery, and that is going to be hit foul down the third baseline. So 1 ball, 2 strikes on Cage. Farmers Insurance Agency, let Brenda help you to be smarter about your insurance. She can provide customized coverage at an affordable price. Call her at 522-1341. So Nate Cage back in the box. Down in the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. And that is going to be strike 3 swinging, and that will bring the bottom of the third to an end. But the Mustangs put 1 on the board to go up 1-0 here on B106 and B106.com. Going to the top of the fourth here, the Mustangs up 1-0 as they go get that 1 run on 2 hits in the bottom of the third. As the warm-ups continue. Out on the field, throw down to second, and coming up for the Eaton Reds, excuse me, the Ryder Rich, 0 for 1 as he was struck out swinging in his first attempt. So Ryder Rich will be up first, and Killian Williams and Jared Uru. So Shirtliff with a nice job here so far. Has thrown 37 total pitches. And that is in there for a swinging strike. They like those balls up around their eyes there, and they go after him, but have not connected on him yet. That is up and in. Ball 1. So 1 ball, 1 strikes, no outs. The Mustangs leading at 1-0. Top of 4. And that slow curve is in there for a strike. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. As Rich steps out for a minute, trying to slow up the rhythm of Shirtliff. Shirtliff's pitch is low and in the dirt. Nice stop by McBride. So 2 balls, 2 strikes. And the delivery by Shirtliff is in there. Oh, I thought it was going to be a strike. I'm not sure where that missed. But 3 balls and 2 strikes. Must have been inside. As Rich stands in there, swing and a miss. Second strikeout for Rich. It's a nice job by Trevor Shirtliff. He has thrown now 43 total pitches, 13 balls and 30 strikes. Killian Williams stands in, and that ball is going to be hit down to Nate Cage. He gloves it, throw over to first, and tagged out at first. Nice job by Adrian Marquez as the ball was offline just a little bit. But Adrian Marquez with the grab and tag out of Killian Williams. So now 2 out here in the top of 4 as Jared Uri comes up to the plate, and that is going to be fouled off to the right. So no balls and 1 strike on Yuri. 0 for 1 line drive in his first appearance. Steps back into on the right side of the batter's box. Trevor Shirtliff with the slows. Curveball and a swing and a miss by Yuri. So no balls, 2 strikes. Shirtliff ahead in the count. And the pitch, and that is in the dirt. See if he was going to chase the ball, and he did not. So Yuri back in the box. Shirtliff with the delivery, and that is going to be a swing and a miss as McBride gets the ball and throws it down to first for the out. So 3 up and 3 down here as we go to the bottom of 4. Mustangs up 1-0 on B106 and B106.com. Brian Nickelback here at Eddie Underwood Field in Fort Morgan as the Mustangs are up 1-0 as we go into the bottom of the 4th inning. Joe Holbeck, Adrian Marquez, Isaac Linker. Micah Dorsey still on the mound for the Reds, and that pitch is going to be in the dirt and bounces back to the screen for ball 1. B&J Plumbing can handle all your plumbing needs from clogged drains to a major construction project. Just give them a call at 522-3828. Bunt attempt, and that is going to be an out at first base for Holbeck. So 1 down here in the bottom of 4. That brings up Adrian Marquez and then Isaac Linker. Marquez bats from the right side. That is a swing and a miss for Marquez. So no balls and 1 strike. With 1 out here in the bottom of 4, the Mustangs leading 1-0 on an RBI for Trevor Shirtliff in the bottom of the 3rd. And that pitch is going to be inside as Marquez turns away from the pitch. Now the delivery, and that is going to be in there for the strike. Looks like it was going to be inside, tailed back over the plate. So Marquez stands there, and that ball is going to be hit to the 3rd baseman and by the 3rd baseman. So he will get on first. So 1 on, 1 out. Adrian Marquez at first. Isaac Linker up to bat. 0 for 1, grounded out his first appearance today. And that is going to be up and in ball 1. Micah Dorsey and Marquez over at first as Linker comes back into the box. And Marquez is going to take off, and that ball is going to be hit through between shortstop and 3rd. So a nice job there by Isaac Linker to put that ball in play. So now Linker on first, Marquez at second with only 1 out. And that will bring up Jimmy Keller. Fly out in the first plate appearance for Keller. As Dorsey looks in, checks the runner out at second. And the delivery, and that is going to be outside, but caught the edge of the plate for a strike. So no balls and 1 strike to Jimmy Keller. So Keller in there, and that ball is going to be hit by the shortstop, and that will bring Marquez. He will be waved in as Marquez will come in safely. So an RBI by Keller. So now 2-0 Fort Morgan. And now we have runners at first and second. Jimmy Keller and Isaac Linker as the Mustangs now lead at 2-0 on an RBI by Jimmy Keller. And that ball is going to be nubbed out over the second baseman out into right field. And they're going to hold up the runners at second and third. But a nice single there by so bases loaded here now for J.P. Hamer as they're going to have a conference out on the mound. So the bases are loaded for J.P. See if we can get a couple more runs in here for the Mustangs. B&B Gutters, they do residential and commercial seamless gutters and have over 20 years of experience. Free estimates and fully insured. Proud supporters of Northeastern Colorado sports. So the conference breaks up on the mound. Everybody back to their positions. As that was Bobby Tolson with the single out over the second baseman. So Hamer with a chance to get some RBIs and get a couple of runs up here on the scoreboard for the Mustangs, and that pitch is going to be in there for a strike. So 2-0 Fort Morgan over the Eaton Reds here in Fort Morgan. And the pitch, and he's going to be popped up, and calling for it is the first baseman, and he does come away with it. So bases still loaded now for Trevor Shirtliff. He can help himself out here at the plate with 2 out now here in the bottom of 4. The Mustangs lead 2-0. And that pitch, nice stop by the catcher, Ryder Rich, as that ball was in the dirt. So 1 ball and no strikes, 2 out, 2-0 Fort Morgan here in the bottom of 4. McBride on deck, and that pitch is going to be up and away for ball 2. But Dorsey doesn't have any open bases to put him, so he'll have to bring it in. Time for Shirtliff to get some RBIs, and that pitch is going to be in there for a strike. 2 balls and 1 strike. So Shirtliff can help himself here with a base hit. 2 balls and 1 strike, 2 out. And that ball is going to be hit hard out to right field, but under it is the right fielder. So Shirtliff comes up empty on the RBI attempt. So after 4 full innings, the Mustangs lead at 2-0 over Eaton on B106 and B106.com. 2-0 Fort Morgan over the Eaton Reds here at Eddie Underwood Field in Fort Morgan as the Mustangs put another run on the board in the bottom of the 4th. They could have got more. They had the bases loaded with 1 out and could not bring anybody else in, but did bring 1 in on an RBI by Jimmy Keller. So back-to-back innings with runs here for the Mustangs. Trevor Shirtliff is now sitting at 48 total pitches, 14 balls, 34 strikes. Micah Dorsey, 64 total pitches, 22 balls, and 42 strikes. So coming up for the Eaton Reds is C.J. Blaskowski as he popped out to Adrian Marquez his first time up. So Trevor Shirtliff with the delivery, and that is in there for a strike. And the next pitch, and that's going to be hit out to the shortstop. Nice big high bounce to Linker, and that is just in time to Marquez. So nice job by Isaac Linker Nice high bounce for Linker as he grabbed it and threw it to Marquez for the out. That pitch is going to be outside, ball one. Shirtliff with the delivery, and that is going to be low, ball two. Micah Dorsey, the pitcher, is at the plate. And that is going to be in there, slow curveball in there for a strike. Dorsey was out in the first inning swinging, and that ball is going to be nubbed foul down the first base line. So 2 balls, 2 strikes. 1 out here in the top of the 5th. The Mustangs leading at 2-0. And that is going to be outside. Ball 3. And that is going to be high, ball 4. I believe that's his first walk of the day. So Micah Dorsey on first, and that brings up Walker Yamura, second baseman for the Reds. So we'll see if they will keep an eye on Dorsey over there at first. And that is fouled, I believe, back to the backstop. Now the umpire is walking out and talking to the pitcher. I couldn't tell if that was if he's attempted at that, if that was a strike or if that was a ball. They haven't put it up on the scoreboard yet. But I believe, I'm going to put it down as a strike, I believe. I think it was fouled back to the screen. Yeah, they did put it up there, 1 strike. So Shirtliff, and that is going to be low, ball 1. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Walker Yamura. Micah Dorsey on first via the walk. 2-0 Fort Morgan, 1 ball, 1 strike, and 1 out here. And that is going to be a foul ball just back behind the catcher. So 2 balls and 1 ball and 2 strikes, excuse me. Micah Dorsey gets his lead over there at first. Not a real big lead for Dorsey. We'll see if he's going to take off. Now Shirtliff's going to throw over. And back in safely is Dorsey. Nice pick by Marquez over there at first. So Shirtliff peeks over. Now the pitch, and that ball is going to be hit out to left field and cannot get it. It's Jimmy Keller. He can get it by him. So Keller gets the ball in, and they're going to send him home. And now the ball's coming home and in safely as they do not come up with the tag at home plate. So Dorsey comes in on the triple. On the triple by Walker Yamura. So now it's a 2-1 ball game as Noah Brown comes up with 1 out and a runner at third. 0 for 2 so far today is Noah Brown. But that ball was hit down the line, and Jimmy Keller just couldn't get to it on the leaping attempt. But 1 ball, no balls and 1 strike here on Brown. That ball is going to be inside. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Noah Brown. Shirtliff with 62 pitches, and that is going to be hit out to the second baseman, and they're going to bring it home and out at home. Nice job out there by Joe Holbeck. On the fielder's choice. So Noah Brown at first. Swing and a miss by Travis Cunningham. So 2 outs now. Nice play out there by Holbeck to throw out the runner coming home from third, and that is going to be hit past the diving Holbeck out into right field. So Travis Cunningham with the single. So now 2 on, 2 out, as that will bring up Jake Sandow. He was hit by a pitch and then caught looking in his first 2 appearances. So I'm not sure what we're waiting for a signal from the coach. Now Trey McBride relays that out to the fielders as Jake Sandow back into the box for the Reds with a runner at third, and that is fouled back to the screen for strike 1. That ball is going to be off of the pitcher's glove. And safely at first. And that will bring the run in from third. So runner at first and second. Now we're going to have a conference at the mound with Coach Langford. Trinidad Benham, serving area bean growers since 1921. Give them a call at 970-522-3595 for all your dry bean needs. They are proud supporters of Northeastern Colorado sports. So now a 2-2 ball game here in the top of 5. And Ryder Rich comes up for the Reds. He is 0 for 2, struck out twice. And it looks like we may have let's see, number 22 is coming in. I don't know if he's just going to be a 22 is going to go out to second for Travis Cunningham. I believe that might just be a Curtis runner. We'll find out. So Anders Swanbaum out at second. Jake Sandow at first. 2 outs here in the top of 5. So Shirtliff was cruising along pretty well until the top of the 5th here, as it was all tied up at 2. And that pitch is going to be a swing and a miss. So that's what we need now. It would be a nice strikeout here for Shirtliff. Up to 68 pitches. 48 strikes, 20 balls. Looks back in the delivery, and that is going to be hit up the middle and through to center field. And that will bring in Swanbaum from second. So now 3-2 Eaton.
Let's go, boys!
So now Rich at first, Sandow at second, with Killian Williams up. And that pitch is going to be a ball low and away. Williams 0 for 2, struck out and ground out his first 2 times up. But 3-2 now. Eaton, that ball is low and away also. as they have put 3 on the board here in the top of 5. So the kick and the pitch, and that is inside, ball 3. So Killian Williams, Jared Uru on deck, and that is going to be in there for a strike as Williams was taken all the way. Little encouragement from the dugout from Coach Langford. Throw over to first. The ball gets away from the first baseman, and that is going to advance the player from second. So first and third now. 3 balls and 1 strike on Williams. And that ball is going to be fouled out of play to the right. So this is the pitch that they're needing here for a strike to get him out, only down 1. Killian Williams, right fielder for the Reds. Shirtliff comes to the set and the pitch, and that is going to be hit out to Shirtliff. Handles it and gets it over to Marquez for the out. But not before the Eaton Reds get 3 on the board. So after 5, the Reds 3, the Mustangs 2 on B106 and B106.com. Back here at Legion Field, the Mustangs find themselves down 1, 3-2. Going into the bottom of the 5th inning, Trey McBride, Nate Cage, Joey Holbeck will be up for the Mustangs. Have a new left fielder. I've not been able to see a number. Looks like number 14, I believe. Micah Dorsey has gone out to left field, and Travis Cunningham has come in to pitch. Jared Uru still at first. Noah Brown at short, CJ Blaskowski at third, and Walker Yamura at second. As they get their pitches in here for the Eaton Reds, as they will toss the ball around here, and Trey McBride walks into the plate as he is up for his 3rd time, grounded out and walked so far. As the new pitcher now is Travis Cunningham. And that first pitch is fouled but out of play. Back to the right. So no balls and 1 strike. Mustangs down 3-2 as we go to the bottom of the 5th. Yes, Cunningham looks in for the sign, and that ball is going to be a ball 1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. As Cunningham looks in for the signal, for the sign, and that is going to be low, ball 2. So Eaton in that inning had 3 runs on 4 hits. And that ball is going to be fouled down the right field line. We'll see if anybody can catch up to it, and the first baseman does get it. So an out there by Trey McBride. So that brings up Nate Cage, as he is 1 for 2, a single and strikeout for Cage. As we play in the bottom of the 5th inning, with 1 out, Cunningham on the plate, or at the on the mound. And that ball is going to be in the dirt, ball 1. He doesn't work near as quickly as Trevor Shirtliff does for the Mustangs. And that is going to be a swing and a miss by Cage. B&B Appliance. When you're shopping for new appliances, shop the best appliance store in Fort Morgan. B&B Appliance carries a full and complete line of Whirlpool appliances and will help you find your perfect fit. B&B Appliance in downtown Fort Morgan. That ball is going to be lifted just over the outstretched arm of the shortstop. So a nice single there by Nate Cage into left field. As that will bring up Joey Holbeck. A walk and a bunt for Holbeck. And we will see what is transpiring here, as it looks like we'll have a courtesy runner. And that will be Dalen Knapp, I believe, coming in for Cage. So Dalen Knapp now running at first for Nate Cage. And Joey Holbeck steps up to the plate for the Mustangs with Adrian Marquez on deck. Isaac Linker in the hole. Cunningham looks over now the delivery, and that is going to be outside. For a ball. Cunningham, and that pitch is going to be outside also for a ball. So 2 balls and no strikes for Holbeck. That ball is going to be in there for a strike. So 2 balls and 1 strike on Joey Holbeck as Mustangs look to get back even in this contest as they're down 3-2 in the bottom of the 5th. 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out with 1 on. And that pitch is going to be outside, ball 3 on Joey Holbeck. So ahead in the count is Holbeck as Cunningham comes to the set and the pitch, and that is going to be fouled back to the back screen. So Dalen Knapp, the courtesy runner at first for Nate Cage. Cunningham, and that ball is going to be fouled off to the left. Central Auto Parts, you need your vehicle and farm equipment to be in top shape, so make sure you take care of them by purchasing the best quality parts at great prices at your local Napa store. Central Auto Parts in Fort Morgan. So Holbeck back in the box on the right side. As Cunningham steps off and bluffs to first. Cunningham with the pitch, and that is going to be fouled straight back once again. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Here in the bottom of the 5th with the Mustangs down 3-2. Eaton plated 3 in the top of the 5th. And the pitch, and that is going to be in the dirt. Ball 4, so 2 on now for Adrian Marquez. Now would be a nice time now for his second home run of the season. He had Saturday against Frederick over the left field fence. So Knapp at second, Holbeck at first with only 1 out. See if he can drive this ball somewhere. And that is going to be up and away, ball 1. Travis Cunningham on the hill for Eaton Reds. That pitch is going to be in there for a strike. He came in relief here for Micah Dorsey. So 1 ball and 1 strike. And that pitch is going to be high. 2 balls, 1 strike. Comes to the set, does Cunningham, and that is going to be popped up to the second baseman. And that will be out number 2. As the second baseman comes down with that pop fly. Still runners at first and second. Isaac Linker up now for the Mustangs. 1 for 2, a ground out and single for Linker. So if you get a base hit here, we could get this thing tied up here. As the Mustangs find themselves down 3-2. That slow curve is going to be in there for a strike. Nice pitch there by Travis Cunningham. Cunningham came in to pitch here in the bottom of the 5th. Looks back to second, now the pitch, and that is going to be a swing and a miss. Strike 2. 2 strikes and no balls on Isaac Linker. As Knapp hustles back to the second base as they try to a fake attempt throw. And that ball is going to be in the dirt, but not far enough away for either runner to advance. Mr. D's Ace Home Center with 3 locations to serve you better. Sterling Brush in Fort Morgan. Your headquarters for all your home, farm, and ranch supplies from plumbing to feed. As Linker stands in from the right side. And that is going to be low once again. So 2 balls, 2 strikes against Isaac Linker. Fort Morgan's next game will be Monday here at Legion Field against Meade. And that pitch is also low. Cunningham not able to find the plate right now. So 3 balls and 2 strikes as he was ahead in this count. No balls and 2 strikes. Cunningham looks in. The runners take their leads from first and second. And that ball is going to be hit hard, and that will get through the gap over on left field, and they're going to send Knapp home. Here comes a throw, but it won't even be close as it goes to the backstop. So the Mustangs tie it up here with Isaac Linker.
Go, Jimmy. Keep it going. Go, Jimmy. Go, Jimmy. Attack. Attack.
So now Linker out at second. Ties this thing up at 3. So Isaac Linker with the RBI. Runners at second and third. Linker at second and Joey Holbeck at third. Jimmy Keller at the plate, and that pitch is going to be in low. So 1 ball and 1 strike. On Keller. 1 for 2 is Keller. A fly out and a single. Take another single here. That ball is going to be low and outside. Nice stop there by Ryder Rich. Two balls, 1 strike, 2 out. Here in the bottom of the 5th, all tied up at 3. And that is going to be hit, down the third base line. And that will bring in Holbeck and Linker. That took a bad hop and went over the top of the third baseman. But 2 come in on Jimmy Keller's single to left field. So now 5-3 Fort Morgan. With Bobby Tolson coming up for the Mustangs. But Jimmy Keller with 2 RBIs here in this bottom of the 5th. And that's a swing and a miss by Bobby Tolson. 1 for 2, a ground out, and a single for Tolson. But that ball that Jimmy Keller hit a bad spot out there just in front of the third baseman, and it bounced high over his head out into left field, and that let 2 runners come in. And that ball is going to be hit out into right field and right at the right fielder. But the Mustangs put 3 on the board as they match what Eaton put on in the top. But go ahead now, 5-3 as we go to the top of 6 here on B106 and B106.com. 5-5 now here in the bottom of the 6th inning as Eaton puts 2 across there in the top of 6. So G.P. Hamer and is up first with Trevor Shurtleff and Trey McBride scheduled for the Mustangs. That pitch is going to be low and back to the backstop for ball 1. But nice defensive job out there by Keller.
Get yourself on base, kid.
To throw that runner out, trying to advance on that single. And that pitch is going to be in there for a strike. Hamer is 1 for 3. Single, a fly out, and then thrown out at first on a drop third strike. Cunningham still on the mound for the Reds. 33 total pitches for Travis Cunningham. And the delivery, and it is low. Ball 2. 2 balls and 1 strike to J.P. Hamer. As he stands in from the right side, Cunningham looks in for the sign. Now the delivery, and that is going to be low and in the dirt. Ball 3. So 3 balls and 1 strike to Hamer. Cunningham now with the delivery, and that is going to be fouled to Josh Langford down at third base. So 3 balls, 2 strikes with no outs here in the bottom of 6, all tied up at 5. So it'll be a nice time to get a couple of runs here, and then let's call that strike 3 looking on Hamer. As the faithful here at Legion Field not happy with that call. And that will bring up Trevor Shurtleff. 90 total pitches, 26 balls, 64 strikes for Trevor on the mound today. 1 out, and that ball is going to be low and outside, ball 1. Fort Morgan will have a tournament down in La Junta, and that will be on the 24th and 25th. And then back home again on March 30th against Brush here at Legion Field. So 1 ball and no strike. That ball is hit hard out to center field. And there for the catch is Jake Sandow. So now 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th. That will bring up Trey McBride. Be a nice time for his first home run of the season. Nate Cage on deck. Joey Holbeck in the hole. Trey is 0 for 2. A ground out, a walk, and a fly out. That ball is going to be in the dirt. Ball 1. As Cunningham stands out on the mound, looks in for the sign. And the delivery, and that is going to be inside as McBride spins away from the ball. Cunningham now with the delivery, and that is going to be high. Ball 3. CHS Grainland, your full-service co-op that's farmer-owned. Go to chsgrainland.com for information on grain, feed, energy, and car care. Plus, they offer free market alerts. McBride steps back in the box and waits, and that ball is going to be fouled down the left field line. So 3 balls and 1 strike to Trey McBride. He gets set back in the box from the right side. Nate Cage on deck. 5-5 here in the bottom of 6. And that is going to be ball 4. Nice job by Trey McBride to wait out the pitcher. And now Nate Cage up, and he is 2 for 3. A single, 2 singles, and a strikeout. Cage bats from the right side as well. They chase McBride back to first. Once again, Cunningham steps off the rubber and McBride retreats to first. Now gets his lead again. And Nate Cage fooled on that one. Strike 1. 2 outs here in the bottom of 6. As he step off once again to chase McBride back to first. Cunningham looks in, set up, and McBride takes off, and pitch is not handled by the catcher. So McBride with the stolen base. So now Cage with a runner in scoring position. He could put it out over the shortstop or over second base. It's wide open. Out in those 2 areas. McBride gets a decent lead out there at second. And the pitch, and that is a slow curve, but that is going to be high. So 1 ball, that'd be 2 balls and 2 strikes. Or 2 balls and 1 strike, on Nate Cage. And the pitch, and that is going to be in the dirt. Nice patient batting here by the Mustangs. 3 balls and 1 strike to Nate Cage. Cunningham checks McBride out at second. Now the pitch, and that is going to be flied out. Let's see who's going to finally come up with it. And it is going to be caught by the second baseman for the 3rd out. So the Mustangs held scoreless here in the bottom of 6. We'll go to the top of 7 with it all tied up at 5 on B106 and B106.com. Back here at Eddie Underwood Field in Fort Morgan as Trey McBride gets his catching outfit on and gets back behind the plate. We'll get some more warm-up pitches and be ready for the top of 7. Fort Morgan got on the scoreboard first in the 3rd inning with 1 run, 1 in the 4th. Then Eaton got on the scoreboard with 3 in the top of the 5th. Fort Morgan answered that with 3 of their own in the bottom of the 5th. And then Eaton scored 2 in the top of the 6th to tie it up at 5. Fort Morgan held scoreless in the bottom of the 6th, so we go to the top of the 7th. Jake Sandow, Ryder Rich, and Killian Williams. Jake Sandow is 1 for 2, hit by a pitch, struck out looking, and a single. So Jake Sandow waits for the pitch, and that is going to be hit hard, foul down the left field line. He was right on top of that pitch, just pulled it a little bit down the left field line. That would have been at least a double for Sandow, if that would have been fair. So a nice afternoon here at Legion Field. Next pitch, and that is going to be hit also foul down the left field line. So no balls and 2 strikes. It's about a 75-degree day here, a slight wind out of the west. A few high clouds around, but a beautiful day for a game of baseball here this afternoon. And that ball is way outside, gets past McBride to the backstop. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Sandow, Ryder Rich, and Killian Williams due up here for the Eaton Reds, as we are all tied at 5 going into the top of 7. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And that ball is going to be hit. And this will also be foul down the third base line. Jake Sandow behind in the count now, 1 ball and 2 strikes, or Trevor Shurtleff is ahead in the count at 2 strikes and 1 ball. Depends how you want to look at it. Sandow gets back in the box, and he is ready, as is Shurtleff, and the delivery, and that is going to be hit right back up the middle for a base hit. Right up past Shurtleff. So now 1 on and no out. Let's see, they got a pinch runner, a courtesy runner over at first. And that will be Cameron Anderson. Pinch running for Jake Sandow. See if there's some more changes going on. They're doing some changes here with the home plate umpire. ACI proudly supports local high school sports throughout Northeast Colorado. When you need ice, don't settle for just any old frozen water. Get AC Ice. You can find it at any local grocery or convenience store near you. Ryder Rich at the plate for the Eaton Reds, as we have a runner on at first in Cameron Anderson. He is running for Jake Sandow, as he had the single up the middle. 1 for 3. That is ball 1. Ryder Rich is 1 for 3, 2 strikeouts and a single. That pitch is going to be up and in for ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. Rich back into the batter's box, and that is going to be off of the glove of McBride, but it was a strike. So 2 balls and 1 strike to Ryder Rich, catcher for the Eaton Reds today. Throw over to Marquez at first, but back in safely is Cameron Anderson. Courtesy runner for Jake Sandow. Another pitch over, and back safely once again is Anderson. Anderson gets his lead, and now the pitch is going to be in there. Strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, as Shurtleff has got back even here on the count. Double play ball would be nice here with no outs, and that pitch is going to be called strike 3 on the outside edge. So we get the 1 out. That will bring up Killian Williams, 0 for 3. 2 ground outs and a strikeout. But nice job there by Shurtleff, as he is at 100 pitches. Runner is going to go, and the throw down to second is going to be late. So a stolen base for Cameron Anderson. So now a runner in scoring position for Williams. 5-5 here, and that pitch is going to be in there for a strike. So 1 ball and 1 strike. I believe the pitch count is 110 in the high school ranks, and that pitch is going to be fouled straight back. Trevor now sits at 103 pitches. So the double play is out of line here now as Cameron Anderson with the stolen base stands out at second. 5-5 here, top of 7. No balls and 2 strikes and the pitch. That is going to be fouled straight back once again. Still at 1-2. So Jared Urey, CJ Blaskowski due up next. For Eaton, now the pitch, and that is going to be hit out to the shortstop Linker. His throw across, and nice pick out by Adrian Marquez. But it does advance the runner to third. But now with 2 outs, and this will bring up Jared Yaru, 0 for 3. Line drive, fly out, and throw it out at first on a drop third strike. And that pitch is up and in for ball 1. Cameron Anderson stands at third. And the pitch, and that is going to be in there for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. 5-5 here in the 7th with a runner at third, and that pitch is going to be right out to the second baseman and out at first. Nice job out there at second base by Joey Holbeck. So the Mustangs hold the Eaton Reds to no runs here in the top of 7 as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning, all tied up at 5 on B106 and B106.com. Brian Nickel here as we go into the top of the 7th inning. A new pitcher for the Reds, that is Jake Sandow. Center fielder, let's see, okay, we got number 3 out at center field. So Travis Cunningham has gone back out to center field. Anybody else that's besides the pitcher Jake Sandow and Travis Cunningham now out at center field. I believe everybody else is still where they're supposed to be as they get the pitcher warmed up as they throw down to second, and it will be Joe Holbeck, Adrian Marquez, and Isaac Linker up for the Mustangs here in the bottom of the 7th. See if they can put it away here, get a run across here in the 7th. And extend their record to 3-0. So Jake Sandow, a right-handed pitcher, and standing at the plate is Joe Holbeck in from the right side. Holbeck is 0 for 1, 2 walks, and out on a bunt. First pitch outside for ball 1. Sandow with the delivery, and that is going to be put in play out to the shortstop. And that will be, they're going to call him safe out at first base. They're calling him safe at first base. So an infield single to the shortstop. Nice hustle there by Joe Holbeck. As Adrian Marquez now at the plate, Isaac Linker on deck. Third baseman playing in about even with the grass. So he's playing in, everybody else playing back. And that is going to be a swing and a miss by Adrian Marquez. He was looking for the cars out in left field there. But comes up empty. So no balls and 1 strike for Marquez. And now he puts a bunt in play. Nice bunt out to the third baseman, and everybody's going to be safe. Nice job by Adrian Marquez. So now first and second with Isaac Klinker up. Still no outs. Runner in scoring position. Isaac Klinker is 2 for 3, 2 singles and a ground out. So now's the time to put that ball in play, get a hit out to the outfield. Another bunt, but they're going to bunt it up the first base line, and that's going to be foul. So a chance for the Mustangs to win it here in the bottom of the 7th with 2 on and no out. Joey Holbeck at second and Adrian Marquez with the bunt standing at first base. Isaac Klinker at the plate. No balls and 1 strike. And the pitch. And it looked like he was going to bunt again, but pulled the bat back. So 1 ball and 1 strike as we are tied up here at 5 in the bottom of the 7th with the Mustangs threatening. Isaac Klinker at the plate with 2 on, first and second. And the pitch. And another bunt, a nice bunt out in front of the plate. And that will advance the runners on that sacrifice bunt. So now we got runners at second and third with Jimmy Keller up at the plate. Keller is 2 for 3, a fly out and a single. And they're going to automatically walk Jimmy Keller. So a walk, an intentional walk to Keller. So that brings up Bobby Tolson. And that is going to be, look like a little up and away, but they're going to call a strike there on Tolson. So Bobby Tolson can win it here with a base knock here for the Mustangs as the bases are loaded. Holbeck at third. And that ball is going to be fouled down the first base line. Bobby Tolson steps out of the batter box for a minute. As Sandow looks in, no balls and 2 strikes, and that ball is going to be hit down the right field line, and that will drop for the single. That will bring in Joey Holbeck. So Bobby Tolson did the single here in the bottom of the 7th to win it for the Mustangs as they win it now 6-5. We'll be back with the postgame show on B106 and B106.com. The Fort Morgan Mustangs postgame show is brought to you by Morgan Community College. Find out why Morgan Community College is the best choice for your higher education. Visit MCC online at www.morgancc.edu or stop by the campus for a personal advising session. MCC, here to help you imagine your possibilities, believe in yourself, and achieve your goals. Well, the Mustangs pull it out here in the bottom of the 7th as Bobby Tolson with his single to right field brings in the winning run. The had an hour and 55-minute game today. Trevor Shurtleff with the win. Let's see. The losing pitcher was Landau for the Eaton Reds. So Fort Morgan moves now on to 3-0. The scoring, Mustangs had 6 runs on 12 hits, 1 error, 11 left on. Reds 5 runs, 11 hits, 1 error, and 7 left on. Fort Morgan started the scoring in the 3rd inning with 1 run, continued that in the 4th with another run. Eaton Reds scored 3 in the top of the 3rd. Fort Morgan answered that with 3 in the bottom of the 5th. the Eaton Reds 2 in the top of the 6th. That tied it at 5, and then the Mustangs held Eaton scoreless in the top of the 7th inning. The Mustangs loaded the bases in the bottom of the 7th, and Bobby Tolson comes through in the clutch with the base hit to right field. Next up for the Fort Morgan Mustangs will be Monday here at Legion Field, and they will be playing Meade. And then they will be on the road for a couple of games as they go to a tournament down in La Junta on March 24th and March 25th. And then be back home on the 30th of March for a game against the Brush Beat Diggers here at Legion Field. But a big win here for the Mustangs this afternoon. Some timely hitting here for the Mustangs as they win it 6-5 over the Eaton Reds. Our player of the game, and that is brought to you by Transwest Chevrolet Buick, serving Northeast Colorado and now located in Fort Morgan and Sterling. Stop by and take a test drive. They have a great selection of new and used vehicles, or browse our website, transwestchevroletbuick.com. And this afternoon we are going to go with Bobby Tolson as he hits here in the clutch in the bottom of the 7th inning. He was 2 for 4 today from the plate, 2 runs, 2 singles, did get the RBI for the winning RBI in the bottom of the 7th inning. So our player of the game will be Bobby Tolson. So good job this afternoon by the Fort Morgan Mustangs as they go to 3-0. Eaton Reds drop to 1-1. So nice job, as I said, by the Mustangs all the way around. Trevor Shurtleff here on the afternoon had 108 pitches, 77 strikes, 31 balls, and 5 earned runs. But Mustangs come away with the win, 6-5 over Eaton. We will close this out here. The sound engineer and producer for Fort Morgan Mustangs baseball today has been Julie Garcia. I'm Brian Nickel. Once again, the final score, Fort Morgan 6, the Eaton Reds 5. You've been listening to Fort Morgan Mustangs baseball on B106 and B106.com. Good night, everybody.